I wanted to update you on the strategic plan. We put together this plan with a set of goals and an aspiration to be the world's preeminent health sciences innovator. I'm glad to tell you that in April of 2012, we finalized these goals, and under each of these now are a series of strategies, owners, and metrics. I'm pleased to report that we're tracking well for nearly everything that we set out to do. We don't have time today to do an update on all of the goals, but I wanted to highlight a few, and as part of that, that gives me a chance to call on a few members of my leadership team to help me to tell the story of how these goals are driving us towards a future that's even more exciting than the one we have today. The first goal is about patients, providing unparalleled care to our patients. So I want to invite our Medical Center CEO, Mark Larrett, to give us a short update on APEX. Mark?
Just this month, we completed the implementation of our final stages of the electronic medical record system, the EPIC system that we call APEX here at UCSF. That completed more than a year and a half of successive rollouts of APEX across the entire organization. So what are those benefits? Number one, this is a great boon for patient safety and quality. This system detects complications, ordering errors, medication errors that might be ordered. It also ensures that we're practicing consistently and at the highest level of practice. The system has also made it possible for patients to see their patient information online. So no more calling the doctor's office and wondering where your labs are, but you can go online and find them there. And third, this clinical data is now forming a spectacular new clinical data repository that our research community will be able to use, and where we have our greatest hopes for the value of this project.
Our second goal is about research and innovation, improving health worldwide through innovative science. And I want to invite our Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost, Jeff Bluestone, to give you an update on the second goal. Jeff?
One of the great aspirations of UCSF is to continue to be one of the most innovative discovery entities in the world. And in that discovery goes across the whole spectrum, from the most basic and fundamental science up through clinical research, and in fact, even into our educational enterprise. And so this year, I just want to highlight a few areas that we have made a significant investment in that I hope will bear fruit in the future. The first is in the educational area, where we have really made a major investment of $2 million into our online learning. We have our first 3 courses rolling out in January and already have more than 48,000 people who have enrolled in taking those courses. On the research side, we continue to try to make efforts to improve our research infrastructure. On the clinical research side, the Clinical Hub, which is a one-stop shopping where you can go in as an investigator, as a patient, as a staff member to try to learn about how to conduct clinical research here at UCSF or how to get involved in clinical research here at UCSF. On the industry partnership side, we continue to try to build our relationships with industry. I talked about our relationship we built with Pfizer a couple of years ago. To date, that's brought in more than $4 million in research investment, not just within the laboratories here, but supporting our indirects as well, so that we can really invest in that. And there are many, many, many other industry partnerships that have been created for our investigators to be able to translate their great discoveries into things that will help people.
Our third goal is to attract and support the most talented and diverse trainees in the health sciences. And I'm really excited about the progress that we made this past year in our educational mission to attract the most talented and diverse trainees. And one of those accomplishments was opening of the Multicultural Resource Center. And I'd like to invite the Vice Chancellor Renee Navarro to come up and say a few words to tell you about that.
The Office of Diversity and Outreach was established in 2010, December, and it really serves as the campus leader of building diversity in all aspects of our mission. Ultimately, we seek to have a campus that is diverse and where all individuals can thrive. This is really best achieved by a culture of equity and inclusion, where everyone feels supported. The UCSF Multicultural Resource Center is a key component of our thriving culture. The center serves as a hub for our students, for our faculty and staff as well. They can gather there, they can plan and work together interprofessionally to identify also available resources for them on campus. And it'll also serve as a meeting site for our first generation support group, as well as for focus groups for our faculty and for our staff.
Now, the other thing I wanted to update you under goal number 3 is something that we first started last year, and that is a program very much focused on financial support for students and education. And I'd like to invite Vice Chancellor of Student Academic Affairs, Joe Castro, up to tell you about that program. Joe?
We launched our first ever UCSF education fundraising initiative on a Saturday morning in April. The Chancellor did it here in San Francisco at the All UCSF alumni event. Very exciting. And she set at that time a fundraising target of approximately $100 million by June of 2015. Most of the funds that will be raised will go to scholarships and fellowships for our students. And these funds are going to enable us here at UCSF to continue recruiting and retaining the most talented and diverse students, regardless of their financial circumstances. Overall, good news, educational fundraising increased by about 19% in 2011-12, and that was up from about $20 million to almost $24 million. And to date, we've raised about $28 million, just shy of $28 million towards our overall $100 million target.
So our 4th goal is to be the workplace of choice for diverse top-tier talent. So I wanted to tell you a couple things about succession planning. The reason I care about succession planning is it brings 2 things into play that I think make for great management. First and foremost, a sense that we plan for our own future, and that development of talent is one of the most important things we do. One of the greatest things I ever hear from people on our campus is, I want to be a leader here. I have aspirations to use my talents to advance the mission of UCSF, and I see this effort in succession planning part of how to address those aspirations and the great talent pool we have on this campus. Our 5th goal is to create a financially sustainable, enterprise-wide business model. So why does this matter? Well, none of the first 4 goals will be possible if we can't afford them. It also means that we have the resources available to grow, evolve, and improve. So 2 of the big initiatives under this goal are to improve our planning processes, to know and understand our data, and find ways to increase revenues. We have a lot of great people working on those goals, and we're making significant progress. The other aspect of goal number 5 I want to highlight for you today is the Future of UCSF project. At the Regents meeting in January of 2012, I told the Regents that UCSF demanded that we keep our excellence, that we were firmly committed, no matter what the circumstances were, that we would be great and we would remain leaders. The Regents agreed to the formation of a council that would be advisory to me and through me to the Office of the President and the Regents. The most important thing I want to engage this group in is to make sure that we can be nimble and competitive in a world of healthcare reform and flat NIH budgets. But I also want this group to help us with our hopes and dreams, to make sure we're asking the right questions, holding ourselves accountable to have the kind of place that UCSF should be for the world. What does this mean for UCSF faculty, staff, and trainees? I would say it means an extra level of accountability, persistence, and commitment to our public mission and our ability to operate no matter what the world throws at us. And I think that's a very good thing.